What's up everybody, and welcome back to News Dose. And today, we have quite a bit of Xbox news to go over as we got more Xbox Game Pass games announced, but now this does actually pertain to Nintendo and PlayStation as well, so do keep that in mind. And then also, it looks like a PlayStation 5 exclusive is actually heading over to the Xbox sometime here soon. So we're going to go over all of that today, plus plenty more. And in fact, let's just go and get things started off with a big game releasing this holiday, being Call of Duty Vanguard. Now, Call of Duty is by far one of the most popular games in the entire game industry, and it really is amazing just how much staying power this franchise has had. I remember playing these games back on the Xbox 360, especially Call of Duty 4, then Modern Warfare 2, and Black Ops. I loved those games growing up, and I mean, these games are still just as popular as what they were back then, if not even more popular. So I know a lot of people out there really excited for the next Call of Duty. And well, Call of Duty Vanguard is set to release on November 5th. So there you have it, you have the official release date, and this is actually good news for you Halo Infinite fans out there as well. Phil Spencer did confirm that they were waiting for some other games to get set release dates before announcing the release date for Halo Infinite. So with this game getting announced, I'm pretty sure we're going to hear something about Halo Infinite at Gamescom, and more than likely we're going to get a release date right over there. Back to Call of Duty Vanguard though, this is a World War II themed game being developed by Sledgehammer Games. This will have a campaign as well as a multiplayer. The multiplayer will offer 20 maps available right out of the gate at launch, with 16 quote-unquote built for core gameplay. So there definitely seems to be a lot of content here, and they're also planning to launch a new World War II themed Warzone map. I mean, if you like Call of Duty or if you like Warzone, then there's definitely a lot to look forward to here. Activision even confirmed that they will be releasing a new PC anti-cheat system alongside that Vanguard map. So that's always great to hear as well. Now, I know there's always going to be that debate on what era you like for these Call of Duty games. Do you like the more modern setting, or do you like the setting of World War II and World War I? But hey, this is a new Call of Duty game, and if you do like that World War II setting, then you have a lot to look forward to on November 5th when Call of Duty Vanguard releases. Now, I also got some really good news for the Nintendo Switch, as Quakecon is happening right now. Like, it's actually live as I'm recording at this moment, and I don't think this has officially been announced yet, but a nice collection did leak out for the Nintendo Switch, being the Doomslayer collection. This collection was listed over on Best Buy for $50, and it should release on September 2nd. And this is a lot of really good games here. You have Doom 1 through 3, Doom 64, and then Doom 2016 all in this collection for just $50. With all these games being really good first-person shooters, that's an absolute steal. This is something that I think the Nintendo Switch actually needs a little bit more of. It doesn't really have a lot of these big, high-profile first-person shooters, but it does have the Doom franchise. Bethesda in general has been a big supporter of the Nintendo Switch over the years, whether that be with Skyrim or you've gotten Doom here as an example. They've done a pretty good job with the Nintendo Switch, and I would say, yeah, Doom is probably some of the better first-person shooters that you can pick up for the Nintendo Switch, especially considering this collection right here has Doom 2016. All for $50, yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Now, the Doom collection is actually already available on the Xbox and PlayStation, so that's why you're not really hearing much on their end. These collections are actually already available on those platforms, but I'm really glad to see this come over to the Nintendo Switch, and even though these games are already available on the Switch, just to have them all bundled together, that's really great to see. Now, since we're talking about Quakecon and Bethesda, we might as well go ahead and talk about Xbox Game Pass, as more games was revealed for the month of August. Yeah, I know that the last 30 days have just been absolutely insane for Xbox Game Pass. It's been a lot of these day one releases, but yeah, we've gotten 3 more games heading into Xbox Game Pass, and in fact, they're actually available today. Yeah, and in reality, there's actually 6 games releasing into Xbox Game Pass just today. I mean, they just don't give us really any time at all to keep up with all these games. But yeah, let's just go and check this out. The new Quake Remastered Edition was announced today, and it will be available today in Xbox Game Pass. Then you also have Quake 2 and then Quake Arena heading to Xbox Game Pass for PC. Now, I will just go ahead and say that I think the new Quake Remastered Edition, it looks pretty good. It will be available on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, the Nintendo Switch, and PC. You will be able to play this everywhere, so don't worry about all that. And it actually has some nice little features going on for it. It, of course, is an enhanced version, but it also has crossplay. So Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and Nintendo fans are all going to be able to play this one together. And on top of that, it even has old and new DLC. So they actually are doing quite a bit with this Quake Remaster. This could end up very well being the definitive experience. Now, for the time being, though, there's not an Xbox Series and PlayStation 5 version, but a free upgrade will be coming post-release. But really, if you have Xbox Game Pass, this is a great way to jump into the Quake franchise. These games are a big part of history as they really did help revolutionize the first-person shooter genre. And I think the new remaster, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's still got those old school graphics and everything, and it's not necessarily a big remake, but it's still a pretty good looking remaster for what it is. Now, you also have Train World Sim 2, then Recompile, and 12 Minutes all launching into Xbox Game Pass today as well. We already knew about those games, and I'm certainly very excited about 12 Minutes myself, but yeah, like I said before, Xbox is just not giving us any time at all to play all of these games, with 6 new games releasing into Xbox Game Pass today. And then next week we also have, which I cannot wait for, Psychonauts 2. You all know just how excited I am for Psychonauts 2, but this is just another really good day for Xbox Game Pass subscribers. I know for a lot of people, especially the newer generation, Quake is not going to necessarily just be these earth-shattering games or anything like that, but these games are very important to gaming history. I think that they still play really well today, and if you missed out on playing these games before, I mean, go ahead and give them a try, especially if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber. These games might end up surprising you, and then you just might really end up liking them. Now, actually, as an added bonus, we also got an update for an Xbox Game Pass game that recently launched, being the Ascent. Now, this game has been really interesting because a lot of fans really seem to be enjoying this game quite a bit. It's a good co-op game. It's just absolutely gorgeous to look at. And, I mean, from what I've been seeing, fans have just been having a lot of fun with this one. But critics were very harsh when it comes to this game, as it was plagued with several different technical issues over at launch. But it's very clear to see that this game actually does have a lot of potential, and the good news here is that the Ascent over on Twitter had this to say. An update is now available for the Ascent on Xbox and Windows 10 platforms, bringing parity against the Steam version, including DLSS support, Windows 10, a whole host of co-op, stability, mission fixes, and more. The full notes are over on their website, and you know what? This is just really nice to hear. This game does very much have a lot of potential, and I know a lot of fans have been really enjoying this game quite a bit, and to hear that they're putting in the work to fix the problems that this game's had, this is just great overall news. If you've been holding off on trying this game because of those issues, well, you might want to give it a try now that they've updated the game. Now, that's not quite everything for Xbox, though, because it looks like a PlayStation exclusive is set to come to the Xbox here soon. And that would actually be Oddworld Soulstorm. Now, this game did release back on the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 just a couple months back, with it actually launching directly into PlayStation Plus. It's actually probably one of my favorite day one releases for PlayStation Plus. I do really like the Oddworld franchise. These are very weird, but oddly very charming games all at the same time. And it goes beyond just with the story. I would say that with the gameplay as well. In Oddworld Soulstorm, as an example, it is a 2.5D platformer, but it plays so much different than other games within the genre. There's a lot of stealth sections, and it really focuses on that puzzle element to the game. Soulstorm is actually really difficult, and I don't think that this game is necessarily going to be for everybody per se. But if you do like the Oddworld games, I think Soulstorm, it really does it well. It feels old school in terms of its gameplay, but I really did enjoy this one when I played it for the PlayStation 5 earlier this year. But yes, it is being teased for Xbox right now. This is coming from the Oddworld's Inhabitants Twitter account, where they did post a teaser of Abe opening up paper here, and then you can hear the Xbox logo kick off in the background. So an Oddworld Soulstorm announcement is more than likely imminent, and I keep pointing to this, but Xbox does have that Gamescom event next week on August 24th. So this could be yet another game that they announced there at that Gamescom event. This is a beloved franchise, and even though it doesn't go out and sell like millions and millions of platforms or consoles or whatever, it's still a beloved franchise, and it's got a lot of really dedicated fans to it. So this could be a big announcement for that fan base, and for that matter, you have to keep in mind that Xbox has a bit of a history with the Oddworld franchise. Both Munch's Odyssey as well as Stranger's Wrath released as an original Xbox exclusive. So there's definitely an Oddworld fan base on Xbox consoles, and here soon it looks like Soulstorm might be releasing for Xbox as well. So that is really good news. Let's go ahead and talk about PlayStation though, as Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut will be releasing tomorrow on August 20th. And with that, reviews are actually rolling out right now, and it currently sits at an 88 overall score on Metacritic. Yeah, the Director's Cut is reviewing much better than last year's release, which still to this day sits at an 83 overall score on Metacritic. Now, Ghost of Tsushima did win the Fan Game of the Year award last year, so I mean, fans really liked that game a lot, but here with the Director's Cut, it is reviewing much better with an 88 overall score as of this moment. And really based off all the reviews I've read and heard, it just sounds like it's just a much better overall game. That's pretty much what you would expect with a remaster, or in this case, a director's cut. There's going to be a lot of quality of life improvements. It visually just looks better, and you know, it's just going to be a better overall game. This is absolutely the definitive experience. But I know what you all are going to be most interested in, and it's going to be that Ikishima expansion. The Ikishima expansion, of course, is an entirely new island to explore. It's got its own side missions, and it's got its own story, and, well, based off what I've heard, it's actually pretty good as well. It tells a very personal story for the protagonist, Jin, which apparently is really interesting and just adds more depth to his overall character. The island is just beautiful and fun to explore. There's new enemies here, which results in you finding new strategies to defeat them, and it might have familiar gameplay. But if you like the Ghost of Tsushima experience, well, that Ikishima expansion sounds like it's going to be right up your alley. Now, with that said, an important question here is, how long is this expansion? And I've been hearing different things about this, but it looks like depending on your playstyle, it could be anywhere between 3 and 8 hours. If you're the type of player that just focuses on the mainline missions, apparently it can be beat in about 3 to 4 hours. But if you take your time and you do different side quests and you explore a little bit more, you're going to get a lot more time out of it, and you could possibly push it to about 8 to 10 hours. So this isn't really a huge expansion or anything like that, but as a whole package, it looks like PlayStation did a good job with Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. And onto the poll of the day. We talked about this one yesterday, but over at Pokemon Presents, we got some updates for Pokemon Legends Arceus, and then also Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Now, both of these have seen some pretty massive upgrades since we last seen them. Pokemon Legends Arceus looks excellent with its big open world. It's very different, but, you know, the cool thing with this one is that they did fix up those technical issues. The frame rate was much better this time, and then with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, it's still got that chibi art style. That's not going to change, but visually it does look much better. They added some different textures, as well as the lighting just gave this game a big boost. But I want to know, which game here are you more excited for? And, well, 55% of you actually voted for Pokemon Legends Arceus. And you know what? I absolutely 100% agree with you all here. I mean, I think for me, there's two questions here. Which one am I going to like more, and then which one am I more excited for? Because I really like that classic Pokemon formula, so I might end up enjoying Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl more, even though these are just remakes. But with Pokemon Legends Arceus, I'm more excited for this one because it's just a completely new Pokemon experience. I want to see how this game plays. It kind of reminds me of a mix between Zelda Breath of the Wild with Pokemon and then also Monster Hunter. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it does have that main town where you can kind of gather resources, and then they send you out on all of these different quests to fulfill your Pokedex. That aspect really does remind me of Pokemon, especially with these Pokemon actually attacking the trainer. I find that really interesting, and I want to see how all of this exactly works out when we do get to play it on January 28th next year. Really, I think this game is just kind of fulfilling a lot of childhood dreams out there. Fans have really been wanting a big open world Pokemon game for such a long time. And even though this game is a little bit different, there's not trainer battles, you're not going to have ranked battles or gyms and all that stuff. It's still that open world Pokemon experience, and I mean, if this is done right and it's successful enough, it'll be really interesting to see what Game Freak does in the future. I personally always want that classic Pokemon formula to stay around. I think that they need to stick with that, but I definitely could see a game like this coexisting with that classic formula. I think you can have this big open world experience as well, so I'll be interested to see how this game actually performs when it releases. Nonetheless, I'm really excited for Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I mean, for that matter, I'm excited for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl as well. I'm just a Pokemon fan in general, but yeah, you all definitely seem to be more excited for Legends Arceus. Anyways, though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.